Hello everyone. Our group topic is Overcome Culture Shock. And my name is Liu Han, and I'm going to talk about what is culture shock. As we can see, the Wikipedia gives the definition. Culture shock is an experience a person may have when one moves to a cultural environment which is different from one's own. For our international students, culture shock are those problems we may face due to the different culture from our own. To learn more about this culture shock, we need to figure out how does culture shock originated. That is to say, we need to figure out why United States is a multicultural country. In my opinion, two main time periods caused this situation nowadays: the age of discovery and the progress of globalization. The age of discovery. During the 15th century to 17th century in Spain, the most developed technology in the world and the eager for exploring the new continent stimulates them to run navigation. As a result, they found the new continent, America. The age of discovery have few main effects on America to be a multicultural country. 1. Because of lots of reasons such as natural elements, it was hard for them to come back homeland, so some Spanish stayed in America and consisted one part of American culture. 2. It stimulated the slavery trade, which made a lot of black slavery went to America and also consisted one part of American culture until now. The second time period is called progress of globalization. Since late 19th century, large-scale globalization began in this world. Different cultures began to meet and collided. A lot of cultures from Asia countries such as China, Japan, and Korea entered into America, and nowadays you can see a lot of Chinese, Japanese, or Korean cultures in America. Also, there are lots of other reasons cause the United States becoming a multicultural country, but we still can't know why we may face a lot of culture shock when international students study in America.
I want to talk about some examples of culture shock in America. For international students, we arrived at a new country, which is even a multicultural country that is almost totally different from our own homeland. We met many culture shock and about food, language, habits, religions. We Chinese guys like our own food the most, I think. And as we all know, many people are not used to American food and have bad appetites every day. So they often go to Chinese restaurant or make Chinese food on their own. At the same time, language may cause difficult in study and even daily life because we may not understand some joke or profound meaning in reading or communication. It's kind of embarrassing when people are laughing at something, but you even don't know what it is. Some subjects like biology and chemistry are needed in high school for Chinese students, but when the textbooks, the class, the quiz, and the exam are all English, the hardness of these subjects increased a lot. International students also need to recognize the definition of plagiarism, or we can see they behave as plagiarism and may not be seen in our own country. So we need to add citation and do paraphrase in our essays. In addition, it's hard to find football game in China, though we are so proud of our football team as Buckeyes. I never understand how football works, so it's hard to understand the rules and how to win a football game. And for many international students, they are not familiar with politics and religions in America and need to pay a lot attention to avoid of saying something offensive.
Hi guys, My name is Shen Wei, and I'm responsible for giving you some tips to overcome a culture shock. There are social activities, student organizations, counseling, and consultation. To begin with, I think participating in social activities is beneficial to overcome culture shock because when we get involved in public events, we are able to meet different native people and fit in social environment. Further, I believe that joining several different student organizations on campus is useful for alleviating culture shock for the simple reason that as we take part in interesting activities of student organizations, for one thing, we maybe feel more happier than before, and happiness will strengthen our mental strength, so we could gain more courage to face culture shock directly. For another, it's probable that we maybe come across some other students who are faced with the same problems, and we could share our experience and solutions with each other. What's more, I hold an opinion that in order to mitigate psychic trauma, it's helpful for us to make a contact with psychologists on campus, since not only are they experts on psychology, and they have seen a great many culture shock examples on campus, but also they are willing to assist us and give us some proposal to surmount culture shock. For example, we can use counseling and consultation service on OCU campus. Besides, we have paid their service fees in our tuition. So why not schedule an appointment and take advantage of this service?
Hello everyone, my name is Tianrui Xiao, and I am going to give you guys the conclusion of this presentation. First, as we mentioned before, origin of cultural difference is from the history of the America. But beside history, there are four stages of culture shock. The first one is honeymoon. It is mean that when you live in a totally new country, everything is good, just like honeymoon. After a few months, here we come the stage of negotiation. The differences between culture apparent and create anxiety. After that, we start to fit in the new environment, which takes 6 to 12 months. And finally, we have the adaptation stage, which means we are able to participate fully and comfortably in the host culture. As we mentioned before, here are some tips like participate in social activities, get involved in student organization, and find counseling and consultations. Here's some way to realize those things. This is one of the picture of our school's football team. You can choose one of the sport that you are interested in and do it at least once a week, so it will help you to release pressure. About student organizations, you can use this website to find anything that you want. If you are seeking for medical or mental help, I suggest you to log in this website and see what is next step for you. But what if I prefer to stay alone? How can I overcome culture shock by myself? The first step is, of course, recognize that what you are going through is culture shock. If you can come to terms with wild mood swings and sad times, and recognize that they're part of the inevitable process, it is a lot easier to convince yourself that the bad feelings will pass, and they will. And secondly, it is crucial to learn the language as you go. Culture shock, at its simplest, is an inability to integrate, and the biggest barrier to that is general language. The more able a student is to love, cry, and seek solace with the locals, the easier it is to deal with ups and downs. The third one is take it easy. Thought it can be the toughest part of studying abroad. Culture shock is just an integral to the experience of food, people, and the scenery. But recognize that what it is and doing your best to cope, you can easily prevent culture shock. It is the end of our presentation. Thanks for watching.